Well, the weeks sure are flying by, and I hope you're making the most out of your learnings and really getting a sense of why you do what you do and implementing the necessary changes. Small and steady is what we're aiming for here, because little changes over time will have a big impact on the way that you live your life. This program is all about lifestyle and changing it ever so slightly day by day. It is so much easier to implement small changes and build upon them than make one massive change, as I assume you have found over the years. For example, when we may have changed our diet dramatically when we weren't ready and we couldn't keep up with it, cutting out all the food that we used to eat regularly and overeating and binging and cutting out carbs and cutting out sugar. It just doesn't work when we do it all in one go. Some changes take time. There's a process that you have to go through, which is, why I imagine that you're here right now to learn the process. So let's get into this week and get onto the process. This week, one of the things that we're going to focus on is building our self-esteem. We're going to look at where your self-esteem is at, if it's low or if it's high. You'll be able to gauge your self-esteem by taking a quiz in this week's learnings. One of the overall goals of this program is to build your self-esteem from the inside out. Your self-esteem relates to everything you do, and it can be conscious or unconscious. So even if you know it or not, you will project how you feel about yourself onto others on a day-to-day basis. Yes, people will be able to feel how you actually feel about yourself. Having a low self-esteem can affect our evaluation of ourselves and also of others. Think about it in terms of judgment. Do you judge yourself and do you judge others? When we judge ourselves, we also judge others and vice versa. Judging other people is a direct relation of ourself and how we see ourselves, and we cannot see traits in someone else that we do not have in ourselves. Self-esteem can change from day to day and even minute to minute. You may have noticed that some days you feel great about yourself and others, not so much. That is because self-esteem changes depending on the emotions that we are feeling. By going through a negative experience, you can experience a decrease in your self-esteem. When we are in a negative environment and cop criticism, it can also reinforce any negative belief patterns which can instill certain habits within us. If our habits are non-productive and unfulfilling to us, our self-esteem will plummet. As a human being, we need to feel as though we matter, that we are worthy of love and attention. We like to know that we are important in this world and seek approval in both ourselves and in others. For our self-esteem to be high, we need to get our head right. Negative thinking can overpower us if we let it. The more negativity we allow to take over our thinking, the more it can seem true, and we start to believe it, and we question ourselves and our value. You can have positive self-talk, and you can also have negative self-talk. Our task is to increase the positive self-talk, so we can strengthen the positive opinions that we have of ourselves, and that way we will increase our self-esteem. I have no doubt that there are many great things about you and so many great things about what you do and how you do them. I challenge you, as soon as this video is over, to name 5 great things about you. Say them out loud. Write them down if you can, and write them down and then say them out loud. This is just a small introduction on self-esteem, which is one of the things that we are focusing on this week. Thank you again for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Remember, come up with 5 things that are great about you, and have a great week.